Ahoy hoy everybody, my name is Caroline and I like to read books, so let's talk about them. Today's video is going to be a book review of The Loose Ends List by Carrie Firestone. This is the story of a girl named Maddie who's just graduated high school and plans to spend her last summer before college just hanging out with her friends and having fun. But then her Gram drops the bombshell that she's dying. Gram has terminal cancer and is taking the entire family on an around-the-world Death with Dignity cruise as a way to say goodbye and die on her own terms. And the whole family are just weird and crass and loud and inappropriate and just bizarre. But they go on this cruise and the entire story is about love and life and grief and family, and it's really a lovely story. Overall, I really enjoyed it. This story isn't for everyone. It does deal with death and assisted suicide in a very honest way, and whilst I appreciated the honesty in the story, a lot of other people might not feel the same way. Now that I think about it, the honesty within this story is probably the strong point of the whole book. I found it really refreshing that the characters didn't shy away from talking about things. They talk about their sex lives and losing their virginity and the fact that Gram is dying and that a lot of other people on this cruise ship are dying, and it was just really enjoyable to read honest conversations between characters where they were concerned or sad or trying to comfort each other. I just really enjoyed that, and because this book contained such great relationships between family members, it just made me really appreciate it all the more. I really liked the characters, Gram especially. She was honest and always spoke her mind, even though a lot of the time it was incredibly inappropriate thoughts, but she was just hilarious. And I really liked the other family members and the other families on the cruise ship as well. They had this really nice dynamic together that felt genuine and just likable. I will say though that there are a lot of characters' names and faces to kind of remember on the ship, and it did get kind of confusing at times. The main character Maddie was really likable, but I found her kind of frustrating for parts of the book. She can be quite rude and judgy, which I found refreshing at times, but really childish at others. I also wasn't a huge fan of her relationship with Enzo. I don't mind that they became a couple because I understand the concept of death bringing people together, but I didn't really like how dependent they became on each other and how him leaving the ship to go to college seemed to affect her more than Gram dying did. It just seemed kind of weird. Honestly though, I did love the family in this book. They were completely weird, so comfortable around each other. Like seriously, they shared everything and were just like naked around each other all the time, which I found bizarre, but as odd as they were incredibly charming, and I found myself kind of falling in love with them. And it was nice to read about a relatively drama-free family who just enjoyed each other's company and always had each other's backs. The writing in this book was actually really good as well. The concept of the Death with Dignity cruise was really clever and well thought out. I liked the simplicity of the writing. It was never as descriptive as I would have liked, but I will say that the author did an absolutely amazing job of creating genuine familial relationships through dialogue alone. Like I mentioned before, I really appreciated the honesty of this story and also found the concept of a Death with Dignity cruise to be really clever and well done. I did cry a few times in this book, not ugly crying by any stretch because I had kind of been able to see the sad moments coming, but I still shed a few tears over certain moments and certain characters. I give this story 3.5 out of 5 stars because I did really enjoy it, but there were some things that I wish had been addressed more and some that I wish had been addressed less. For example, I wish the cruise ship and the places that they traveled to had been given a little more description, and I wish that Maddie's relationship with Enzo had been given a little less because I wasn't a fan of how it became the center of the story. Also, you guys can see how gorgeous this cover is, but wait, there's more. Look how amazing it looks under the dust jacket as well. I have never seen a book look this gorgeous underneath the dust jacket. I just think it's so cool. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this book to people because the characters are incredibly likable and the story was really enjoyable, especially considering that it's a story about death. I am just going to mention again though that this story isn't for everyone, so if you listened to my synopsis at the start of the video and were like, whoa, that doesn't sound like I'd like it, you're probably right. That brings us to the end of this video though, guys. I hope you liked this one. If you've also read this book, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments section so we can discuss it. But that's all for this video. So I upload videos Wednesdays and Saturdays. Just be sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned on those days for more bookish goodness. Toodaloo!